Okay. Let's not wait until the start soon countdown finishes, but we'll quickly, go into the business of the day. And among, I would say that one of all the currency pairs that was analyzed, earlier this week, which is New Zealand versus the Japanese yen, you know, where I analyzed that price, would fall. You can see on the screen that it really has not, gone the way which we or which have analyzed, and I think that's okay. But based on that fact, anything above this consolidation, I am going to exit the trade. This is on 4-hour time frame. This is on 1-hour time frame. You can see inside the channel that price has been moving. Yeah, I think this is the right place to draw it, because yes, we have straight legs here, and here we have straight heads. Okay, so this is what we have all this while we've gotten. And since price entered into this point, and this is about, whoa, like in 4 days, almost 5 days that this has been happening. And that's one thing about all of this currency pair. But nevertheless, I'm not going to give up on it. All right, so that is it. The expectation is that there's a possibility that price will fall, and that's what I am looking at. Then that means I'm going to leave these horizontal lines here. So when price breaks below or above, definitely it should tell me that should define the moment for me, the moment to exit the trade if price goes above this this zone here, or if price comes below or falls below this, also this zone here, then that means that the phase has actually begun. So that explains that about New Zealand Japanese yen. Then I move quickly to another one that was analyzed. I was very, very infrequent with sitting on my desk, so I could not take the risk of making some pips, or taking in some profits while trading, and then losing it all out. But nevertheless, GBP NZD versus New Zealand dollar still gave about 50 pips. Okay, still gave about 50 pips. But had it been that I left it all this while, maybe one would have netted about 168 pips altogether. But that's all good. The most important thing is to make sure that your trading method, your technique, your methodology, every approach with which you have adopted, top-down analysis, quantitative, whatever it is called, it's is making you more profit than loss. Okay. And also I was about analyzing this currency pair too yesterday, when there was an emergency I really need to attend to, so I left. Although the analysis was that I'm expecting GBP Japanese yen to, I'm not saying like I'm confirming it, I'm just that I was expecting price to fall from this area here, and we really have not gotten that. But I'm thinking if this definitely will define or determine it, this fall here, because it's the same thing here in 4-hour time frame and also in daily time frame. So there should be some some fundamental news that will push price, that will give the Japanese yen momentum, as against the Great British pounds, to make it fall, just unlike how it has risen all this while. Now you can see, let me also go to the daily. Let's also do the weekly. Okay, all right, so let's take the daily, and you see this is how far it had fallen. All right, this is how far it had fallen, about 5,460 pips. Since when? Since 2022, GBP JPY has been on the rise. All right, so that's it. I'm still expecting that something should just move the price down to the south, while we also taking some pips in that regard too. But nevertheless, if it keeps going up, yes, we will look for an entry. The entry is not based on forecast, it's based on analysis, what angles, what areas, what zones, what levels that you as a financial trader need to look at before you initiate any trade. So today, this is where I have got my eyes really here, and that is on GBP versus the US dollar. I'm just going to drag it down a little bit. Okay, I see a support here. Okay, I see a support here, and it might be broken, or it can be broken. All right, but I see a support here on the daily time frame. Okay, I see a support here on the daily time frame, and there could be possible price move to the north, which is price move to where the Great British pounds is going to gain a very stronger momentum against the US dollar here, and you can also see the fall from where it has fallen from, and this is about 245 pips. Okay, so if you're taking your trade anywhere around here, and also take your trade here, and also take your trade, you would have banked in real good, okay, for trade rates. I did not. All right, but I was just telling you, these are zones, these are areas that I always look up to. Okay, I love these areas, these levels. I love it so much that is what I tried as much as possible to let my to redefine or redesign my technique around, and to God be the glory. So far so good. Now if price does not break below this, if price GBP US dollar does not gain, US dollar's momentum does not break beneath this, then that means we still this support here remains very intact, since price does not threaten it. But looking at it on the 1 hour time frame, you would also see, all right, that here this is the leg that I always look for, and this is the new leg, which is, you call this the lower low, you call this the higher low, right, or whatever you call it. So since we have this, as a trader you can always draw your horizontal line, okay, to see if price is going to break beneath it. But never mind, I don't really do that. I don't really do that. All right, so what I always do is to look with my eyes and like, okay, this area remains intact, it's not threatened, and since it is not threatened by any price move downwards, then it means all is well and good. So now the point here is that there is a possibility for price to move to the north. Okay, price to move upward. That means for GBP to gain stronger momentum against the US dollar. Okay, I don't know what factor could happen, I don't know what factor could cause it or could make it happen, but I'm just looking at it from a technical view, and you know, we're just hoping that, this happens and we take whatever opportunity we need to take, from there. All right. So that is it. But currently on my chart, the based on the market index, the US dollar is still very strong than the GBP, than the Great British Pounds market index. So some will say bias wise that that the US dollar has a stronger bias than the GBP. So it's still the same thing. All right. So that's the analysis though for GBP USD, and if it is worth taking, that we should take it. Okay, if it is something we can take it. All right. So I even think, let me buy this privilege, take the USD, I mean the GBP, and I'm gonna make it 5, or let me say, let's give it 3. Okay, I'm gonna buy at this moment. All right, so that's good. So me initiating the trade here means my my stop loss is going to be either here, or I'm going to risk it all and make my stop loss to actually be beneath this this lower low that we currently have. Right. So we have New Zealand JPY, and also we have GBP USD. This GBP USD is a buy order, where New Zealand JPY is a sell order, and that is that for now, right? Okay, so we still have other ones that we can still look into. Oh, the same thing with I'm not really a fan of New Zealand US dollar, yes, but if you want to trade it, you can do the same thing with it. Maybe kind of like initiate your trade and take the opportunity while it is still available there for you to trade. And also another one we can also look at is the fall of GBP New Zealand. The same GBP New Zealand that took that gave us some profit at the beginning of this week. Yes, there is also now an opportunity to sell. You can look, for those of us that use this price action. Yeah, this candle means a lot, and also this candle means a lot. Okay, this candle means a lot. This is, I don't know, hammer, inverted hammer, whatever it is that you guys call it, all good. And this clearly engulfs this. It's a good point for all of you to, or anybody to look for. But in this regard, what I will do in my own case here is I'm going to look for a price to make a short pullback, and then I'm going to take the trade. All right, wait for a little pullback, then you just take the trade and hope for the best. And that also explains that. And we may also want to look at CHF JPY. Okay, we may also want to look at CHF JPY. All right, you can see CHF JPY may also do the same thing we are expecting New Zealand JPY to do. So I'm not really going to risk too much lots on two currency pairs that will not really move at the same time. Will not really give you the volatility, the momentum, the strength that you really need to get. So I'm just going to limit it on one, which is New Zealand JPY, and any CHF card JPY, US JPY, I'm going to leave it for now. Okay, I can still take US dollar JPY because of the US dollar currency. So I think we are good, and that is where we are going to base today's analysis on. When the time comes, I will be consistent in making longer videos where we will just study and discuss so many things about the financial trading world, FX, mostly, to be precise. Yes, we can also still look into others, but this is very good opportunity for me because I'm able to analyze so well, and I'm able to look into the market so confidently that I will say thanks to God Almighty for always counting on Him to give the knowledge, the wisdom, the understanding to follow the market as dynamic as it is. And I think this is the area where you can use the red button on the screen and click on the subscribe, and then you like the video so it can also be shared with people, and it can also be recommended for a lot of people. And do give your comments, so I will expect you to do that. But yeah, it's all good for me from my desk here. And thank you guys. See you in the next video, probably next week Monday. Bye.